Interesting. You know what? I have no. I hope I'm wrong on this. This is an observation I've had throughout the playoffs, throughout the season, and I brought it up before, kind of like being a little sarcastic, but I think there's something there. I think there's something there between Kyle Shanahan and Steve Wilks, and I think one of the changes San Francisco will make, I hope I'm wrong, I think they're going to go in a different direction. I think they're going to go in a different direction with Steve Wilks. It's not a personality thing, because Steve Wilks. You ever talk to Steve Wilks? I mean, people like rave about Steve Wilks, the dude.
Sure, the players love him.
They love the guy.
Yeah.
I think it's a philosophical thing. I think when it comes down to it, and I think it would be best for Wilks and best for Kyle Shanahan, because I know, and I know you do too. Like, I know when I'm working with people, or if I work for someone, I know when they don't trust me. They don't have to say anything. I know I'm very instinctive. I pick it up. I know I can tell you who trusts me and who doesn't, people I work with. And I don't think Kyle Shanahan trusts Steve Wilks. Like, there are many times throughout the season, like, I'm serious, he was about to take the fall in that first half of Detroit. Kyle Shanahan put that on Steve Wilks. He put it on.
Yeah.
And yesterday, he called that timeout, and he's like kind of talking into, like, he's, covering his mouth. And Romo got this one right. He was like, yeah, he didn't like what Steve Wilks was doing there. Wilks is going to bring on pressure. Kyle didn't want it. I just feel like they're not really on the same page philosophically when it comes to their defense. D'Amico Ryans had something different. Robert Saleh had something different. And Steve Wilks and Kyle Shanahan, I wouldn't be surprised if they make some kind of personnel change.
Well, I too hope you're wrong for Steve Wilks' sake, at least from a professional reputation standpoint. I mean, if it's as dysfunctional as you're describing, and I don't doubt your instincts, if it's as dysfunctional as you're describing, then it might be best for Steve Wilks to move on, to go be great somewhere else, as we like to say around here. Yeah, I see what you're seeing, and I agree with it, but I do think it would be emotional, irrational, and convenient to use Steve Wilks as a fall guy for getting to the Super Bowl and holding Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs to 19 real points. I mean, the sudden change, okay, cool. Yeah, they could have stopped them, but I mean, muff punt, short field, one play later, touchdown, okay, but that counts against the defense. But
blown coverage.
4 field goals.
Blown coverage on that one.
Blown coverage, yeah.
From
4 field goals, but it's also players. Yeah. It's players.
Yeah.
And I think what they won't do, and nor should they to an extent, because they have one of the best personnel departments in the league, hands down, but they won't look at the players and whether or not the right players were in the game or the right players on the roster even. It'll always be were the right players in the right position. Not even whether the right players executed. It'll be whether the right players were in the right position. But I agree with you. If somebody is going to take the blame, which I don't think anybody deserves blame for being on the wrong side of Patrick Mahomes in this instance, it will be Steve Wilks. You're right. That dynamic is legit.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.